Oh, this fucker rolling 10.
Fuck you! Fuck you! What the fuck? What? Motherfucker!
Hey, can I vibe with you?
Sure. Yes! Wait. Okay, so, alright. For this tier list in particular, there are at least 36 different regions in the Pokemon world. Now, is there many more? Yes, there's also fan-made regions in particular. Well, we will not do fan-made regions. This is all the major regions as well as also the side game regions.
Yep.
So I think what we're going to do first, for the most obvious case, we're going to look at the 10 major regions. Okay?
Yeah, the one from the mainline Pokemon games.
Those are being Kanto. I still know.
Kanto,
Sinnoh,
Hoenn.
or Alola, Paldea. That's not Paldea. Unova. There's Unova. There's Paldea. Kalos. Galar. Hoenn. Wait, that's not. No. Wait, which one was Sinnoh again? Shoot. Oh crap. It's no. Wait a minute. Let me check the pictures again. Hold on a sec. Wait, no, I found Sinnoh. I think that's Sinnoh. That one's definitely Sinnoh. Okay, found Sinnoh.
Okay.
Then that must be Kanto, Johto, Hoenn. Hold on, let me remember. Let me find the pictures. So I know. Okay, I got Kalos. Alola, I got. Let's see, Kalos, I got. Alola, I got. Sword and Shield, I got that one. Unova, got that one. Sinnoh, yep, the Sinnoh is that one. Hoenn is this. And Kanto Johto. Okay, so here we go. So I have them right. So here's what I have.
Okay.
In order. Hold on. In order, I have from the very top, Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, the Ora region, Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos, Alola, Galar, and then Paldea.
Yeah.
All right. Once we go through these 10 major areas, we'll deal with the rest. Got it?
Got it.
So, let's start off with
Let's start with.
the most iconic Pokemon region and the one that really kind of started off the entire franchise, Kanto. Now
Yes.
we're gonna go. I don't know how we're gonna base on these in particular. We can base it maybe on around the anime, based on the games, based on everything.
Wait.
Everything related to Kanto. How would you rate it?
Well, I'm
Including
gonna
Pokemon,
say-
including Pokemon as well.
Okay, I'm gonna say it's just really good. I'm giving it a B tier. Like it's good for a starting Pokemon region.
Yeah, for the starting Pokemon region, I think honestly it does deserve credit for what it does. However, going based around the official games, very beginning, they are massively flawed. Even the anime is fairly flawed. Like, for instance, Ash was an asshole in the early arcs of the anime.
Yeah.
I don't think you can deny Ash was not an asshole. Okay,
So
Tell me-
I do agree.
tell me Ash is not an asshole without actually kind of just think about it. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
I really think, if anything, out of all the league losses Ash has actually obtained, the one with Richie, he kind of deserved that loss. Same goes with the one with Harrison. The other losses he did not deserve, and they were just used as a way to help kind of keep him going. I'm gonna actually kind of give Kanto an alright, a C. I don't think this game area is bad. It's just alright. It could be better. Next up, Johto. Now, Johto in particular is in relation to Kanto being literally just right next to the whole region. So we have going based on those games in particular.
Like,
and everything in particular.
I'm gonna give Johto like an A tier. Like, it's pretty good. Like, a little better than Kanto. Like, I say a little bit. It's just a little better than Kanto.
Okay, I can understand that. Honestly, I gotta think this one carefully. Because there are some Pokemon I like in Johto, like Umbreon and the Houndour Houndoom line, Cyndaquil. However, there's a bit of an issue. You wanna know what that issue is?
No, what's the issue?
You don't get most of the Johto Pokemon in Kanto. You get most of the Johto Pokemon you are exclusive to the regions in Kanto. It's the same even in the remakes, or I believe it's just like it's a massive complaint I honestly have in particular. I'm gonna put it in meh. It's slightly better though because it's not Kanto. It does introduce Dark types and actually fixes some of the issues that the Kanto games have. But overall, both of them are meh regions. Okay. Now we have
Okay.
Hoenn.
Hoenn.
Six,
Eh,
six,
like-
6.8 out of 10. Too much water.
Ugh.
I'm kidding. You go first. No, you go first. Okay.
Like, I'm gonna say it's all right.
It's all right.
Yeah. Like, I don't hate Hoenn. I just think it's all right. Like, and no, it's not because of the water.
Honestly, for a water-related region in particular, it almost seems more likely that the only reason why you actually would want to choose a Pokemon like Mudkip is because honestly it's a free water type and really good water type because the other water types that you get so far, even early game, are just mid. Unless you could probably get yourself a Speel, which is still a fairly good water type in its own right. It's having a really good Whaler in. Your closest water type you actually get, in particular, in early game, besides catching a Magikarp and hoping it can evolve into a Gyarados, because trust me, I tried catching a Magikarp in Pokemon Emerald, and despite the fact that actually it was past the level of where it would evolve into Gyarados, it did not evolve. So either Gyarados was not an Emerald or something, or I was just doing something kind of wrong. I have no idea. It's been so long. Just annoying. However, we go based on the original games as well as the remakes. So
Yeah. like,
The way,
my
the
honest
way I
opinion,
see it, it's tough to think because Hoenn is one of those regions. I think it deserves better. It deserves really good praise for what it did, and also we're introducing actually a new evil team, or at least two evil teams that, in my opinion, make Team Rocket look like I don't know.
jokes.
Yeah, well, they're even bigger. I mean, sure, people want to say they're not big. They're really pretty much jokes in particular, but realistically speaking, I mean, which is better? A team that wants to actually use the legendary Pokemon to basically affect the entirety of the world of the region's climate, or would you rather have a guy who just wants to have Pokemon and have a lot of money?
I'm gonna say the first option, like have two legendaries or one legendary, like try to control the world.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, that's why, as long as kind of why I really think like a lot of the region's villains have kind of gone down since I guess Alola.
yeah, like
That's the way I see it.
yeah, like this, like yeah,
I'm gonna give it a B.
like
Now we have the Ore region. Now, I played Pokemon Coliseum, and you remember that was one series I did in particular.
oh yeah,
Fairly interesting one at that. There are two games in the Ore region. There's Coliseum and there's XD. All right.
yeah.
How would you describe Ore in the best way possible?
Like I'm gonna say, same. Okay, same as like Cohen. Like it's all right.
The way I see it, though, think of it like this: Hoenn has too much water, or has not enough water and too much sand. If you think about it, Ore and Hoenn, or Hoenn, if anything, Ore would probably be the region in particular that if Kyogre were to ever appear there, I would say the entire region would be probably flooded and probably be destroyed. Same goes with Groudon would probably be. Honestly, would think about it, Ore could technically be Groudon's home, with how there's barely anything in there. I think the whole only focus between the region of Ore was literally the fact that it's just an area full of consistent battles because there's really no Pokemon. So really, only the Pokemon that actually get brought there are literally either brought there by people going there via visiting or immigrating there, or it's maybe because of the fact that literally smugglers, kidnap the Pokemon and bring them over there. Only in I think XD where you get Pokemon in particular that actually appear that are wild, but it's in certain areas very small.
Yep.
I would love to see another Pokemon region game that actually goes even further with Ore in particular, more than what we get, because we don't get much of anything.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest. I think really, or plus, Pokemon you do get to have it available in said games. XD is much better because you have much more of a selection, but Coliseum is dreadful with the selection of mons, but all the really good ones happening late game, and it's like you had all the best ones near the end. You know?
Yeah, like I could see that. Like,
But it's not a bad region. I think honestly, it's gonna go for a C.
yeah, like I'm doing so well. Then again, I didn't actually play Pokemon Coliseum a lot.
I'm gonna go with C though, purely because it's kind of average. It's all right. I think honestly, what would be interesting though to see is whether or not we get another region. If we got a region with said game based in ore with some more, a little bit slightly more modern, I honestly bet it'll be a very interesting sort of experience, especially seeing how they would do. Now, granted, they could probably just go for the classic lazy approach and just only do Pokemon from Gens 1 through 3, which is what they probably might do. Well, unlikely.
They might do that, like.
But honestly, having some Pokemon in particular that appears in other regions though, and have it be like the reason why. Honestly, heck, there's a Shadow Mewtwo in a Pokemon game in particular. What if you added more Shadow Pokemon, or maybe had it been like the thing where like forced Shadow Pokemon or forced Shadow Legendaries? Now maybe your main goal in the Ore region is to try to recapture those Shadow Legendaries from the Neo Team Cypher, because Team Cypher has been destroyed not once but twice. But now you have to actually go ahead and destroy them a third time, this time for good, with new Shadow Pokemon that are even stronger than before. With your trusty starter, which might be an Eevee, or heck, maybe this might be a time in particular for the region of Ore, you get a new special exclusive evolution. Maybe 3 new evolutions exclusive, 2 or 3, right?
Yeah.
A special evolution, purely to make things interesting. Now we go to Sinnoh.
So, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna put it in A tier.
Honestly, I kind of agree.
Yeah, like, it's a pretty good region.
I think for me, the region is really good. The anime is really good. I think honestly, it's probably the perfect anime, except for really one kind of major flaw, which was literally the whole Tobias thing. I think honestly, which would have made Journeys even better would have been if Tobias came back and Ash actually beat him. I think honestly that would have probably made rewatching it much more worthwhile. But yeah, other than that, it's near perfect. You have the Hisui region, which is a Sinnoh subset, which is still really good. I would have to give that one credit. But at bonus particular, you also have a powerful set of legendary trio: Palkia, Dialga, Giratina, even Arceus.
Exactly. Like, seriously, those are some really good legendaries.
I mean, I would say really, legendaries don't get any better than those 3. Plus, literally, they're literal gods. They're the ones who basically created the entire world with the help of Arceus. They control literal time, space, an entire world that actually is reverse to all of ours, yet they can just be caught like in Pokeballs. I mean, granted, the same thing with Groudon, Kyogre, and Rayquaza, but put Mewtwo up against any one of these Pokemon in particular, like Dialga, Palkia, Giratina. Heck, I don't even think Mewtwo would have stood a chance, because if Mewtwo would have done what he did later on, in particular in a Pokemon Adventure, up against Pokemon that are much stronger, I don't think any of the legendary Pokemon that are nearby would have been able to do anything. They would have probably gone ahead, grabbed Mewtwo, and bitch slapped him into the entire arena. Like, Mew, honestly, was a mercy thing for Mewtwo. Mewtwo got mercy defeated by Mew. And Ash, technically, but who's really counting? But really, Ho-Oh, Lugia, Rayquaza, Groudon, Kyogre, Giratina, Dialga, Palkia, Arceus, even Arceus himself, and the other legendary Pokemon in later regions. Heck, let's go even farther and just say even regions that don't have many legendary Pokemon in particular, they would have just bodied Mewtwo. Mewtwo is powerful, but he's not invincible. But otherwise, Sinnoh is just a region, honestly, it does really well. I think really, the one thing you really can give as a big flaw is the Diamond Pearl, as well as also the BDSP games. I think that's literally the weakest part of the entirety of Sinnoh. You know?
Yeah.
Though BDSP, honestly, I hate to say it though, BDSP or Brilliant Diamond, Sparkling Pearl was perfect for the most part. It fixed a lot of the flaws that Diamond and Pearl had, gave you an option to catch Pokemon from Platinum in a more fun and interesting way. Its only flaw was the end game with the League. The League is the only part I will actually say that actually ruins BDSP. Is when you go from an entirely a casual experience to all of a sudden build an entire competitive endgame area. Even you can't actually put competitive based items in particular, you don't actually have them all unlocked. You have issues, and that's my only reason why it's not really S tier. All right. Next up, Unova. All right.
Unova. Oh well, I'm gonna say it's really good B tier. Like, I don't know. Like after watching, I think the black and white anime for a second time, rethinking all my thoughts on the region, I say it's pretty good. Like,
honestly, here is where I say Unova. Unova is based on America, or at least New York.
yeah.
Unova is also in similar area to Orr, which is also based in an area in America, supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think Unova actually is perfect. Both games, all the games that are related to Unova are perfect. From the games, I actually think gives you an entirely new region, which in fact was one of the reasons I think for me, Unova is probably the best game that actually kind of start yourself into Pokemon. Entirely new set of Pokemon, set of new types. You don't have to deal with anything more complicated. The game even kind of sort of tutorializes you in such a nice and fun way. I mean, first off, your rivals are actually fun. You have an evil team that's actually fairly solid. You have a third rival with N. I mean, if you think about it, you have literally 3 rivals. You have N, Sharon, and Bianca. Bianca always chooses your weaker starter. Sharon uses the stronger, and N's just there as sort of a rival fight. There are no team leader admins. There's really, if anything, most of the evil team in particular you fight off against is literally just the plasma grunts and then an N occasionally. And as an added bonus, though, the gym leaders are actually a nice challenge. You have solid music. There's a little bit of animation, so it's nothing really too flashy. No 3D anything. No old 2D sprites. You have double battles, triple battles, rotation battles, Team Plasma, Team Neoplasma. You have it all. Heck, TMs and HMs are also infinite use. That's really useful. I think really the change from late recurrent regions in particular where TMs and HMs were not infinite use is kind of weird. I like the whole infinite use thing. I think it's probably the one thing I think I can give Kalos actually praise for, is that it kept the whole infinite use TM HM thing. Like, I like that. Like, having it limited in particular is more frustrating, because then it's like, well, now I gotta conserve who I want to give the TM to, and I can't just give it to every single Pokemon. Paldea at least kind of makes it up a little bit, so where you don't have to actually relearn said move. It's where, like, once you learn a move and you get rid of it, that Pokemon can still relearn that move again. It has not fully removed it, which is really nice. But we're not talking about Paldea just yet. For Sinnoh, I don't think, I think Unova deserves the praise it gets. It's perfect. Yeah. Even the anime, as much as people actually shit on the anime itself, I have a soft spot for it. The Unova anime...
I used to shit on it.
The Unova anime is it's underrated. The way you have to watch... Here's how you have to watch it, though. You have to watch the Unova anime, but, like, not think of it... I mean, I guess if anything, it's kind of like Sticker Star. Paper Mario Sticker Star. People actually hate Paper Mario Sticker Star because it's different, right? They all hate it. Sticker Star Sticker Star is the exact same way as the Unova anime. What you gotta do in particular is you gotta treat it in such a way to where it's not. Where it's not based on the whole thing. Treat it as like what it is in particular. It was a reboot. That's what Black and White was. Black and White was a reboot.
Well, a
That's-
soft reboot.
Although it was kind of sort of a hard reboot in its own right. In the games, the game was a hard reboot because you literally had the entirety of the new region. Every single one of your Pokemon are gone. There's no Pokemon from Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, or Sinnoh. Literally, the entire first part of the main game in Black and White, you have only Unova Pokemon. Only once you beat the game and you unlock the area to actually obtain Pokemon from the past is when the other Pokemon make their appearance. You literally start off with only Unova Pokemon. The biggest thing I actually have with Black 2 and White 2 is the fact that literally Pokemon from the other region are there. But when you think about it in terms of lore, it makes more sense. Because literally, Kanto, the Unova region, opened up to more Pokemon after the events of Black and White. And that's why Black 2 and White 2 is the way it is.
Yeah.
But I also kind of feel like, canonically speaking, Game Freak heard a lot of people bitching about not being seeing the other older Pokemon that were like, you know what, fuck it, fine, take it. Like kind of like how I feel like the whole thing with the TTYD remake was literally just the Paper Mario, developers being like, fuck it, fine, here, take a remake.
I kind of have a soft spot for Black 2 and White 2.
You do? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
like I like it. I don't know. I just kind of like the sequel.
No, I like Black and White 2 as well. Like, I think it's really good as well. And also, I do like how that actually Black 2 and White 2 also have a sort of a challenge mode, as well as also an easy mode, which is actually really neat. Unfortunately, you have to actually beat the game to unlock said difficulties, but with action replay and cheating, you could probably get them both really easily and not have to bother it. So honestly, I'd say this though, if anything, and this would be a recommendation, here's what I recommend you do. If you have Pokemon Black 2 or White 2 and you have an action replay, find the action replay cheat for giving yourself challenge or beginner/easy mode, add them onto your game cheat thing, and then play the game on the challenge mode without even having to restart your entire game.
Oh,
you know?
Oh yeah, another thing about
Or use the emulator.
Black 2 and White 2. I like the tournament.
Tournament is pretty fun. I think it's a full card actually to see old foes make an appearance there. Actually, I think honestly, if you really think about it, I think honestly Giovanni's best Pokemon team is in the Pokemon World Tournament. Even though you only see 3 of his Pokemon though, it has his most diverse team roster yet.
Yeah.
And well, with our big L-shaped tier list, let's go to Kalos.
Okay, let's go to Kalos. Yeah, like it's all right. Like, I wouldn't say it's a favorite region. It's just all right.
Honestly, Kalos is literally just French Kanto. I honestly bet you could probably literally beat the entirety of the Kalos game using only Kanto Pokemon in particular. No Megas, just Kanto Pokemon. All you gotta do in particular is, besides the very beginning, either force losing the battles with your starter, but literally just catch the first Kanto Pokemon you find in the wild, and then literally releasing your starter Pokemon entirely, and then just going through the entire game with using only Kanto Pokemon. You literally get a Kanto starter in particular. I mean,
like literally, they give it out to you. Like seriously, like in the middle of the game.
No. It's in the beginning. Literally after the first gym leader. After the first gym leader, you literally get the Kanto Pokemon. Like, okay, but we just find the Pokemon.
Like after the first gym leader, you go to Lumio City, and Professor Sycamore just gives you one of the Kanto starters.
Here, I think here I found something right here. Is I find the picture again for. So going back to in this picture in particular, I'm gonna find this again. Going through different routes. You have literally all the Pokemon from the Route 2, depending which version you get, Weedle, Caterpie, Pidgey. You can catch those literally and then just release your starter completely. No, you don't need it anymore. Plus you get the EXP share, so it doesn't matter. The evolution in particular doesn't matter. You get a Pikachu in the next region. In Route 3, really only Magikarp and Goldeen and their evolution lines are really of importance. Route 4, nothing of importance is there in Route 4. Lumino City, the Kanto starters. Route 16, you have Weeping Bell, which is probably the only Pokemon that really kind of matters, as well as Poliwag and its line. You have Abra and Dodo. You have Oddish in Route 6. Berry Fields is useless. There's nothing in Route 7 besides maybe Psyduck and the Snorlax. Nothing in Route 8. Route 8 upper. Connecting Cave, you have Zubat. Route 8 lower. Tentacool is the only Tentacool, Staryu, Shellder in particular in their evolution lines. Tentacool again in Ambret Town, as well as Horsea in its evolution lines, as well as Aerodactyl because of Fossil. Route 9 is useless. Route Glittering Cave has Machop, Onix, Cubone, Rhyhorn, and Kangaskhan. Route 10, you have Eevee, which means you have all Eevee. You have at least, for Eevee, you have at least the 3 evolutions, which those would be Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon. So you can actually catch yourself at least 4 Eevees for that. Salvage City is nothing special besides Tentacool, particularly being important. Tentacool and Horsea. Reflection Cave is Mr. Mime. Nidorina and Nidorino for Route 11 with the Nidoran male and female. Shalor has Tentacool, and that's it. Also, the free Lucario you get, you have to probably release that Lucario right after, because, well, Lucario's not Kanto, so get rid of it. Slowpoke, Execute, Pinsir, Heracross, Tauros, Tentacool, Lapras, the free Lapras in particular. Azure Bay technically has the legendary bird trio, but that doesn't matter at all. That's post game. Azure Bay has Slowpoke, Execute, and that's well, as well as Tentacool and Lapras, and that's about it. Route 13 has Diglett and Graveler. Route 14 has Weeping Bell, Haunter, Ekans, Bellsprout, Poliwag in its line. Laver City has Poliwag and Poliwhirl. Route 15 has really no Mons besides the Poliwag and Poliwhirl. Lost Hotel has Magneton, Electrode, and both Magnemite and Voltorb. Frost Cavern has Haunter, Jinx, Poliwhirl, Poliwag. Route 17 is completely... Delibird is Kanto or Johto, right? Delibird's Johto, right?
Yeah, like Johto. I think it was Johto.
Look that up. Delibird is Johto, right?
Hold on. Hold on. Okay, what do you want to know?
Delibird. Johto or Kanto?
Okay, Delibird. Johto.
Okay, so now I mean drop 17 is completely useless. Terminus Cave, Sandslash, Graveler, with Geodude basically in particular. About it. Route 18 has Sandslash, Graveler, with Geodude, Corway, Poliwag, Poliwhirl. Route 19, Haunter, Arbok, Weeping Bell, Poliwag, Poliwhirl. You'll also be forced to use Poliwrath instead of Politoed because Politoed is Johto. Nothing from Route 21 besides maybe Scyther, Dratini, and Dragonair. Jigglypuff in Route 20. Victory Road has Graveler, Haunter, Pharaoh, Geodude, Poliwag, Poliwhirl, Poliwrath. Pokemon Village has Jigglypuff, Ditto, Poliwag, Poliwhirl, Mewtwo technically, but Mewtwo doesn't really count because he's post-game. And that's really it for Johto. It's just for all Kanto Pokemon. You could, honestly, Kanto is, it's just, of all the Pokemon you get in the region of Kalos, instead of getting much new Pokemon in particular, it has probably the worst set of Pokemon in particular you get. Besides the new region Pokemon in particular, full fairy typing, I literally just see this region as meh. Because it's literally just, it's just Kanto 2.0. But it's French Kanto. That's all Kalos is. Kalos is French Kanto. Changed my mind.
Yeah, I won't even try to change your mind.
I'm giving it a meh region. It's the weakest region so far for me. Next up, Alola.
I'd put this in S tier.
Okay, why?
I just kind of like the setting of it. I like how I like the Hawaii setting.
It's actually really good. I think Alola is really good with what it does. I think the one part for me, I'm putting it really good, like better than Hoenn. I think my biggest flaw with Alola in particular is honestly, besides the fact that I have a personal hatred for Ultra Beasts in particular, which is something that honestly people who actually discuss me anything for Pokemon related will know that I hate Ultra Beasts. They know I hate Ultra Beasts. They know I have a firm hatred for Ultra Beasts. But excluding the Pokemon aside, I think really the games and the region is really good. I think besides Ultra Beasts in particular, the weakest part in both games is honestly the Rainbow Rocket thing. The Rainbow Rocket event, in my opinion, also not being possible now that the servers are down, is by far one of the weakest events in the entirety of the Pokemon franchise.
Yeah, like
it's a missed potential. It's missed potential. It's also, in my opinion, the one thing that actually makes me put Giovanni in such massive amounts of negativity. In fact, literally, Rainbow Rocket is the reason why I put Team Rocket so low in all of this, in all Pokemon villain tier lists.
At least it gives you a chance to fight all the other team leaders.
Yes, that part is actually really neat. I feel like all the other evil teams actually do really well with what they get. Even though Gets is completely nerfed though from his full team being knocked down, otherwise all the evil teams are still threatening. Every one of the evil teams have a much more bigger threat. Like I had more difficulty with Maxie and Archie than I've ever done with Giovanni. Giovanni was what I like to call a big fucking joke. Like he was the biggest fucking joke in the entirety of the fights, and all the other evil team leaders actually were challenging. It's actually kind of why honestly B's for really good. I think really it could have done better. I think really what they should have done instead of what they did in particular, having the Poke Castle thing in the central sub area. It's like sort of like you would never really go to in particular. The way I see it, they should have had incorporated the entire islands. They should have had them actually appearing through time and space, right? Because that's how they appeared. Have them all attack the different regions of Alola, and basically throughout Alola, you get a bunch of the evil grunts from different regions. Don't have them all be Team Rainbow Rocket grunts. Like that seems kind of lame. Have there be Rainbow Aqua, Rainbow Magma, Rainbow Galactic, Rainbow Plasma, Rainbow Flare. Like, have those grunts make an appearance the way they do, and Rainbow Rocket.
Yeah, like
Have them all appear in different regions. Have it go to where in each of the different 4 islands you have to deal with the big major evil team leaders. You have Cyrus maybe in the 3rd island, Lysander in the 2nd one, Maxie and Archie are fighting over the 1st island, Getsis appears on the 4th island, and then finally you storm the Aether Foundation with Giovanni, who actually has Lusamine captured. And now you're actually forced to fight Giovanni, and Giovanni has an entirely a new revamped team that makes him much more intimidating. Especially if he has Mewtwo. His team in particular is far more advanced, far more built, and he's far bigger threat. Right?
mhm.
Something like that.
Yeah.
To have something like that for Giovanni. Okay?
Okay.
Now, let's go to Galar.
Oh.
Oh boy. Where do I begin with Galar?
Is it like? Can I just say I didn't find Galar really exciting? Like, like I didn't really find it that exciting actually, compared to the other regions. Like,
F-Tier Raptor and Sandal. I'm just kidding.
yeah, it's
I'm just kidding. No, honestly, it's meh as well. I think
me.
it's slightly better because it's better than Kalos. No, it's worse than Kalos. Because we're gonna go with multiple things. One, Sword and Shield were made, and honestly, I feel like the whole reason why the DLC actually exists for Sword and Shield was because so many people complained about it that they actually chose the DLC to add different stuff that were forgotten. Literally, that's the only reason why Sword and Shield has their DLC in the first place. Tell me I'm not wrong. The whole reason why Sword and Shield has DLC in the first place is because people complained.
Yeah, it's most likely. Yeah, I complain.
Not to mention, it was the first game with open world stuff, but yet it doesn't feel open world.
Basically, it feels like open world gone wrong.
Yes,
in my opinion.
Exactly. I don't think this game did the regions right. I think it was a sad attempt to basically go for a full-on Pokemon game on the Switch, and honestly, for the Switch's first Pokemon games on the Switch, it was just a piss-poor job. Granted, I still had some fun with the game in particular when I played it. I just honestly don't think the game itself is worthwhile. Heck, honestly, in my opinion, I'd rather just sell your copy of Pokemon Sword or Shield if you have it, and use that money to actually buy a much better Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Heck, if you have it unopened though, that's an easily full $60 to return for a game like that, for me to get a game that's much better. If you download it via Virtual Console, you're kind of stuck with it, but hey, if you're a fan of Pokemon and you have the virtual copy of the game, that's perfectly fine. As a whole, I think Galar just sucks. Which is really sad. Not to mention as well, the evil team also is kind of a massive joke. The champion is a joke. Literally, the fact that literally the entirety of the champion's main feature, theme, and outlook in particular, and everything you've seen, particularly with the champion in particular, is a Kanto Pokemon. Like, I get with Blues being the starter rival, there's a better starter review in particular. That I get. And with Lance, it's Dragonite. Duh. He was a Kanto Elite Four member, turned Johto champion. Hoenn, you have Steven with his Metagross, or Wallace with his Milotic, I think. That's his ace, right? I don't know who's Milotic. I don't know what Steven's ace is. Can you look up Steven? Can you look up Wallace's Champion Wallace ace?
Yeah, sure.
You look it up.
Okay, so you want
Yes.
Pokemon
Yes.
Steven?
Pokemon. No, Wallace. Champion Wallace. Emerald is champion for Wallace. Steven has Metagross. Cynthia has Garchomp, which is the demon Pokemon. Well, not really a demon though, but with Cynthia it becomes a demon Pokemon. Unova, Alder technically has Volcarona. Iris has, I think, Hydreigon. I think.
Oh, here it is. His ace is Milotic.
Yeah, Milotic. And what about Champion Iris Ace? Champion N, his ace technically is Reshiram or Zekrom, depending on which version you're playing. But sometimes, well, he was only a champion for, like, probably record less time than, say, Blue was in particular. Which I think actually is where the whole similarity of Kanto really comes into play. Then you have Palos, whose champion is Diantha with a Gardevoir.
You know,
Realistically speaking, they should have given us some Galar Mega Evolutions. In particular, special Pokemon for Galar Mega Evolutions that are exclusive to the Kalos region. Alola technically could be a Kukui or your rival, which would mean basically the respective starter you did not choose would be their ace. And then Paldea, which with Gita, you have her first ace, which is basically the really terrible ace Pokemon, which is the Glimmora. Then her better ace of then another one, which is the other better ace of, I believe, King Gambit. Both in particular being much better champion ace Pokemon. I think in the case of that, Galar has a Kanto Pokemon Charizard as the ace. And I think it's kind of just cheap. Especially since they could have done any Pokemon in Galar and made that champion Leon's ace. Heck, they could have made Duraludon his ace. But they didn't.
oh, sorry. Hold on. I'm looking through. You're still asking for the team, right?
Look for the ace of Iris.
Yeah, like that's
Champion
the thing.
Iris.
It's not really. It's
Champion
not really
Iris.
telling me.
Type in Champion Iris.
I did.
Do Pokemon Iris. Do Iris Pokemon Black 2, White 2.
Pokemon Black. Okay, Black 2. White 2. Let me just say Pokemon. Oh, Hydreigon.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. So yeah, you can definitely see the issues. But if you think about it, particularly really kind of funny, if you notice how literally look at the Pokemon look at the regions I've picked in particular, in terms of aces. Have you noticed how most of the region's aces, in particular a Pokemon region, is actually a Pokemon that is from their own region?
Yeah, like I've
The only
noticed.
ones in
I
particular I
have.
actually put in Meh are the ones actually that have a Pokemon region that is actually not not from your region.
Oh,
Is that kind of sort of isn't that much of a surprise though? The two weakest regions for me are the ones that actually have an ace like that. Heck,
you know what?
honestly,
I'm not.
honestly, if Gen 10 does something like that, where the ace in particular of a region is literally that Pokemon from the all the regions, though, even if it's a Pokemon that's one of my favorites, like even if it's a favorite Pokemon of mine, and it's an ace, I'm gonna still have some issues because of that factor alone. That's just me.
Yeah,
I want the champion of the Pokemon region to have an ace based on the region. That's what I think. And that's what I think.
yeah,
That's what I think.
yeah. Like
That's what I honestly think. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's a fair Pokemon of mine. Like gym leaders, I am fine if the ace is a Pokemon from another region. I'm fine with that. Like I'm fine with that. The champion does not deserve that sort of same luxury. Only, only the champion I feel like deserves special standards. But the but the gym leaders in particular, I am fine with literally that. Now finally we have Paldea.
oh, Paldea. Oh, I don't know where that's going.
A tier for me.
Oh, S tier also because honestly, this is what Sword and Shield should have been.
No, yeah, S tier, yeah, as well. Yeah, I agree. But Paldea fixes many of the flaws that Galar has. It has it's a region that actually feels far better. It's not like it's not doesn't feel it feels connected. Like honestly, it's one of the first games in particular where you can literally do anything. Now, granted, unfortunately, level caps in areas are a bit skewed, but because they're always default. But honestly, it is what it is. What I would love to see in particular for Gen 10 in particular, imagine if Kalos did this. Imagine the next Pokemon Gen 10, whatever it's called, did this. You could start with regions, however, you start any one of the four corners of the entire region in particular. Where you start in particular also helps in particular out. What we can do. As an added bonus, your starters would be slightly different depending on what region you would begin at. So basically, you start with in sense instead of being 3 starters, there's in fact 12 starters. 4 grass, 4 water, 4 fire. Each of the different starters are unique in their own right and have their own unique abilities. But what you can do in particular is you can't get all the starters. You can't get all 12 starters. But usually after you beat the game or some sort of events via special raid things that go on. Just like how Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet have their own little raid dens.
Yeah.
At the same time as well, what you do in that region in particular, is that you can actually choose who you want to go up against. In different regions and stuff. They bring back Titan battles, because I like those. Bring the evil team raid areas. You also have the gym leaders. But however, the levels for them change as you go around. So you get the choice to choose. For instance, if you wanted to battle a grass-type gym leader first, its levels would be skewed around level 10 to 14. However, if you fought the grass gym leader maybe last, it might be level 60 to 70 and would have more Pokemon. The entire team would change. Every single gym team and evil team would have different teams based on when you fight them. For instance, the five evil teams, like a Team Star, you could fight them in any order, and their difficulty would alter with their levels of their teams. It would make them much more dynamic. I think really the only reason why probably it's a low S for me is because that's literally if you want to actually do open world stuff, it doesn't really matter that much though, because literally the level cap of everything is just the way it is. So I think really it's like that.
Yeah.
You know? That's why I think that's why I think I see it. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Now we have the DLCs of both Galar and Paldea. So let's start off with the first Galar DLC. Honestly, I never touched either DLC. So Mel, I'm gonna defer with you on your thoughts on that.
Oh, actually, I'm kind of in the same boat.
Well, great.
I kind of didn't touch it either.
We've never done any of this, so honestly, we should probably add another tier list of never done.
Other than the never done tier, never done.
Never touched. Well, let's just say, never touched, or at least not yet. If I ever do a chance to do the DLC for that game, here's what I think I would do. I would just kind of emulate it. I'm not gonna purchase the DLC. It's not even worth it for me. I'm just gonna emulate Sword and I'll just emulate Sword and Shield and download DLC and just get that. Not to worry about it at all. I can then go and I get myself my Sandile, taking my Sandile solo Sword and Shield. You know, but honestly, would have put those in there. Actually, heck, honestly, I could probably say most of these regions are all never touched for me, technically. But
yeah,
we'll deal with it all from there. Next up, we'll go to Kitakami. What are your thoughts on Kitakami?
Well, Kitakami, of course, I've actually done.
Well, no, but ignoring the fact that you've done or not, what are your thoughts on Kitakami?
Kitakami, like it's. I'm gonna say it's really good.
Really good.
Like I say it's a pretty good DLC. Like, I don't really have that mixed opinions on it. I think. Like, what's your thoughts on it?
It's all right. I think I like the idea. I think it's really good. I think the part I don't kind of care for of it, it's like, it's all right. I think honestly, it's the whole thing where the game's difficulty has shifts, whichever one you choose. But I think it's just okay. I think really, it's neat how the difficulty actually alters depending when you actually go to the area or not. Otherwise, it's just all right. It's just decent. It's really good. Next up, Blueberry Academy.
Blueberry Academy. I like Blueberry Academy.
It's really good. But, but it's below Kitakami. I think the reason why I don't care for it is literally the whole forced double battle function that they have you do. I don't actually like that. I do prefer single battles over double battles. I always build my teams around single battles anyway. So, granted, I'm gonna I say it's amazing because it's just you going around, just running around, I think the one part I wish that we should make it as a possibility feature in the base game was be able to transform yourself to another Pokemon and just run around like that. But otherwise, it's okay.
Yep.
Next up, we have basically the Sevii Islands.
Sevii Islands. These ones.
This is part of Kanto in its own right, but it's its own little thing. This is like you get to enter in Fire Red Leaf Green. It's something that we did when we played Poke MMO.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember. Well, since we did it in Pokemon, well, I'm like just gonna say my thoughts on that whole thing.
Ignoring Poke MMO aside, let's just discuss the
Yeah.
region as a whole. What are your thoughts on Sevi Islands as a whole?
It's alright.
Yeah, I agree. It's all right. I think honestly, it's a lot worse than the base region of Kanto. I think the reason why is because it's all whole island hopping thing. I don't think the island hopping thing was really done right,
Yeah.
but it's the first island hopping sort of area. And if you
Yeah,
really
I
think
mean,
about it, it's a precursor to Alola, where you really just hop to 4 big islands though instead. So, yeah,
yeah.
instead of 7 small islands in particular, it's 4 really huge islands. So
Plus,
I
there's
think
not really much going with it. Plus, it's just a thing you do before you challenge the Pokemon League.
it's a side content. Well, technically, you can actually go past I think the third Sevi Island, but otherwise, there really is not much of a reason actually to go there anyway. There's no reason to go there in the
Yeah.
first place. Now we have the what was the island with Mew in it again?
Oh, God, you know what? God, now I gotta look it up.
Wait,
Hold
no,
on.
I have it right here. I have it right here.
There was
I have it right here though. What was it called? Uh,
Gotcha. It was called Gotcha.
Guyana.
Yeah, Gonna.
Okay, Guyana for the first Pokemon movie.
Yeah, like I'm like, well, since we didn't really see much of it.
It's meh.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna say
It's the
as well
best.
because
I mean, granted, it's the moment in particular where Mewtwo is created, because how Mewtwo was created was the whole idea of Mew in his first movie, but it seems not utilized enough. You know,
yeah, I can totally agree. Like they don't really use it that much.
it feels like honestly it's a missed potential. They could have done more with it, but they didn't.
I feel like it's just like that. It's this one area they visit just to explain where Mew comes from, and then so they can create Mewtwo.
Yeah, honestly, literally, I mean, I think only there's this. If you think about it, though, is that it was re-updated version of the first Pokemon movie that actually added this whole thing. It was never added in the original version. It was actually
Because,
added
like,
in.
Because in the original movie, well, that was in the Japan version.
Yeah, the Japanese dub,
Yeah.
Japanese sub version, English sub version, slightly
Yeah, where he
different.
showed mini Mewtwo in a tube also with clones of the Pokemon, and this one girl.
Named Amber, right? Amber 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think having the whole thing of they got Mew thing didn't really matter. This didn't really have a point really to be done. I mean, it was nice. Had a little feature in particular. I'll definitely give him credit for that. It just seems like why?
Yeah, why does it exist?
Now we have the Orange Islands. Okay,
The Orange Island. Yeah.
let's be honest. The Orange Islands was an anime. It was an anime arc in particular. Never used in the games. Now, honestly, I would love to see what they would do with an Orange Island style thing in an actual game. Like heck, if they were to actually remake Kanto one more time, because we know as a matter of fact they would do that. Imagine if they actually went ahead and they add the Orange Islands. Maybe had it be like something particular where maybe the different challenges based around said region, right? And all different challenges. Maybe even the final challenge being with the chance to meet up with Lugia and get 3 birds, the 3 orbs right, maybe battle the 3 legendary Pokemon, legendary trio of birds, of which would then be, they would not be catchable at this point in time. They would not be catchable until after you basically beat this whole area. You know,
Yeah.
you get to tease Lugia and Johto in particular, as well as different Johto Pokemon, and maybe what you do after that, once you beat the whole idea of Kanto, then I would say what you do is the Kanto, then you do the Kanto Johto part. So you basically do a reverse gold, silver, crystal, heart gold, soul, silver. You do a reverse. You go to Kanto to go to Johto, which would then give you unlock the Johto Pokemon. Right. The only Pokemon that would be in the region would only be Kanto and Johto Pokemon.
Like,
right.
Yeah, like I don't really mind the Orange Islands. They're just okay. Maybe if, like you said, like if they remade Kanto again and they did the Orange Islands again, maybe my opinion will change.
But otherwise, they're just forgettable.
Yeah, like
but they're forgettable. But honestly, I think they're better than the Sevi Islands, because at least in particular they were, or at least no better yet. No, they're actually better than Kanto, I think.
Like, okay, if you want, my honest opinion, I only know the Orange Islands. The only reason I know the Orange Islands is because I know it's a place where Charizard obeyed Ash. Seriously, that's the only.
I mean, honestly, if you think about it, it's the only reason why I think it's probably most relevant, but it's not a terrible subsection of the anime. I think actually it's fairly solid for what it does.
Yeah.
Now, next up is Decalore Islands. This is mostly an anime exclusive area.
Yeah, like meh. It's meh. I'm sorry, it's just that nothing really interesting happens, in my opinion, in the Decalore Islands arc.
Yeah, you know what? I will definitely give you that.
Yeah.
It's probably I'm gonna give it an all right. I think I do kind of like. I'm gonna give it all right. I do kind of like it though, purely because of what they were trying to do. It's not amazing, but the way I see it, what they did with it was that the main focus was it was supposed to be just filler so they can catch up to the next big thing, which was supposed to be Kalos, which we all know. Kalos has a lot of popularity to it, not from everybody except for really me. Sort of an outlier like that, but otherwise.
And in the anime, they introduced a character which was exclusive, of course, to only promote, Kalos.
Which was Alexa.
Yeah.
And Helioptile, technically, as well, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Which, I think Helioptile was supposed to be a very popular Pokemon in its own right, but yet Helioptile is just not really there.
Yeah.
Is Helioptile even that popular of a Pokemon?
I don't think so. Like, I doubt it's a very popular Pokemon. If I can hold on.
Okay, I'm waiting.
Okay, no, doesn't look like it.
Helioptile is not really popular?
Yeah, it just says there isn't much info on how popular Helioptile is.
Well, let's just say in particular, maybe it didn't go so well in popularity, which is why Alexa never really... Because, honestly, if you think about it, it would be interesting to see actually Alexa have been Ash's female companion instead of Serena. No love interest is required. Just her just appearing there taking photos. She'd be like the female version of, I would say, Todd Snap and Tracy.
Yeah, she's basically like one of those characters who just shows up. Like
No. She'd be more like Todd and Tracy combined, but as a female companion and actually being there with Ash directly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Next up, Pokelantis.
Pokelantis. Well, all right. Like
It's
okay. I only know it
it's
because
meh.
like you know what? I'm kind of now going to change my opinion to meh. Like I'm going to be honest. I only know it because oh god, I can't. Okay, I only know it because Ash got possessed.
Yeah. Literally, it's the only thing you really could think of. In that one Pokemon Ranger movie, apparently, I think it. Really, I would have loved to have seen a lot more done with the area. This area seems to be pretty much forgettable. It's really just forgettable.
Yep. I don't know because Ash got possessed and there was Brandon.
Yep. Yeah. Pyramid King Brandon.
Yeah. I don't know why.
The only one in particular actually uses a legendary Pokemon in the anime. In the games, apparently all of them apparently just have some sort. And he's also the hardest of the Frontier Brains. The only one in particular that you have to fight literally by finding his giant floating pyramid, which for some reason though is able to actually land in areas in anywhere in Kanto to Sinnoh somehow without actually causing any sort of issues. I don't know how that's even possible, but you know what? It's Pokemon. Weirder shit happens.
Yeah, lots of stuff. Weird stuff happens in Pokemon.
Now we have the Rancy region. That's Pokemon Conquest.
Pokemon Conquest. I definitely play it.
I play a bit of it myself. The way I see it, though, I actually kind of like the idea. It's a tactical RPG style Pokemon game, very similar to Fire Emblem, but with the idea of Pokemon.
Maybe if I if I actually get the game, then I can go back to this and change my opinion.
I could probably emulate the game actually and give it a good chance in particular.
Oh yeah, then maybe I can get my opinion on it.
I'm putting it alright, top of alright though, because I like the idea of it being a region in particular for each of the different locations of different Pokemon and stuff. I like the idea. Fairly solid.
Yeah. So this game's like Fire Emblem?
Yeah. That's the best way I can describe it, though.
Maybe I can look on a Let's Play and then maybe I can go back to this.
Yeah. Good idea.
Yep.
Now we have Rhyme City.
Wait, is it on the... Wait, hold on.
Detective Pikachu.
Oh yeah, that's right. Detective Pikachu. I'm going to be actually... It's alright.
It's alright?
Yeah, and no, I'm not saying this just because of the movie. The movie doesn't count. Or kind of.
Well, it kind of does count. Movie in the
It kind of does count.
I never touched the games because I don't know the region as a whole. I only know of the movie. But honestly, the way they had it in particular, it's really good. I think the movie worked really well with what they had, especially because it's a solid thing. I mean, honestly, really think about it, I think this is probably the best movie that actually features Mewtwo in it. The best movie. So Detective Pikachu has the best Mewtwo as a villain encounter. The best one.
Yep.
And technically, it's not even actually Mewtwo himself talking. It's really just one guy who is actually literally actually basically put his body in Mewtwo, turning himself into basically Mewtwo himself.
Yeah, it's basically Ken's father.
No, not Tim's father. Tim's father actually was Pikachu. It was the
Oh
other
yeah,
guy.
no, oh yeah, that's right. In the movie, because oh yeah, that's right. I haven't watched the movie in a long time.
Yeah. Well, what about the games though? What was it for the? Who was Tim's father in the
Well,
games?
actually, it was pretty good. Like the game was all right. Like like I still need to I've seen the first game. I still need to play the sequel.
Right, but for the base, with guys from spoiling for the first game, is it very similar? Is it very similar to the movie, or is it different?
Yeah, it's kind of similar to the movie.
So basically, some guy
I think.
basically puts his body in Mewtwo and knows and starts causing havoc, right?
Yep, that's basically it.
Huh.
Well, actually, I think kinda. Well, actually, no. There is no putting his body into it. Mewtwo actually speaks just normally.
So Mewtwo just appears and starts fucking shit up. That seems kind of normal for Mewtwo. It seems normal Mewtwo stuff. So
Yep.
so what are you in for? I fucked shit up, dude. That's terrible. You're so evil. Okay.
I still need to play. Yeah, I've already played the first game, but I still need to play the sequel. Cause I don't even know what happens like in Detective Pikachu because I've seen Let's Plays on it.
Yeah.
I just need to play the sequel.
And now, at this point in time, we have ourselves a bunch of different stuff.
Like
Okay.
bunch spin-off.
Massive bunch of spin-offs. So we're starting off with the one I think we all know the most. That being, wait, Pasio is the region for Pokemon.
Pokemon Master, yes.
Okay,
Yeah, like I have played the game.
let's. I'm gonna just do that. Let's do that one as well as also the Pokemon Unite City. Those are the only two that we've really done. So we'll start with Pokemon Unite. You know what?
That one.
Trash.
I was hardly there.
We were hardly there playing the game. We only played it one time. Mel didn't join us at all when we did the game. Because honestly, we were forced to play with only 5 people. 5 people would take us. We couldn't do that. It's just awful. I think really.
Like, and
Also, as an added bonus in particular, if you look at the roster of the entirety of Pokemon Unite Pokemon in particular, you'll notice that majority of them are still canceled Pokemon.
Wait, we really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, this is not right. I found a picture of it in particular. Is that a tier list though? Doesn't matter. No, this is not it. There's just tier list though. The tier list doesn't really matter. I'm looking for that. There's more in Gen 9 for Pal. Yeah, shit. I need to. Hold on a sec. I need to find it first. Let me just find it. I had a picture. I found a picture of it when I was looking up stuff in particular.
Okay.
Hold on, let me find this first. Because I looked at the particular. Eos Island. I just love the history of it in particular. Should I find it? Unite Eos Island. Aha, here we go. I think I found somewhat. Hold on a sec. Chrome is acting up again. Yeah. Otherwise, there's really not much you can do with Pokemon Unite, but the fact that literally in the region, come on, really, God, really, Aos Island, please don't tell me you're just me. But literally, majority of the Pokemon that appear in said region is mostly from Kanto. Okay, so otherwise, really, there's nothing much else I can really say about the region as a whole. It's just
Should we
Yeah.
skip over?
same goes with the other region of the Pasio region. I think honestly, this is actually really meh.
Yeah, like I kind of like. Yeah, there wasn't really anything going for it.
And then honestly, just for rapid fire's sake, because literally there's not much left in particular, every single one of these regions goes here, never really touched. Because
Oh yeah.
honestly, when you really think about it and boil it down, what's the biggest tier list you really want to think of in particular is really just the main 10 regions of the Pokemon world.
Yeah.
That being
Yeah.
Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos, Alola, Galar, Paldea, and technically Or as its own region in its own right. Otherwise, really, there's nothing much else I can really could say. Really, all the other regions don't really have much of a major role. They have subplots, in particular, sub-anime areas. Most of it is literally just either side areas. I think really overall for this tier list, this is not a bad tier list.
Yeah.
I think realistically,
Oh,
there are some
yeah,
areas
sorry.
that are high, some areas that are low. But I think honestly,
That's right.
it's solid tier list in its own
I
right.
still, I still need to rank Pokemon Island.
Oh yeah, Pokemon Island. Where'd you rate Pokemon Island? Since you played
Uh,
Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, like I'll say it's okay. Like it's alright. Like,
Yeah.
'cause I played it on the like Nintendo Switch Online service.
Yeah. So yeah. What about the other one? You said you play new Pokemon Snap. How would you rate those games? Or at least those games.
Well, Pokemon Snap, it's okay. It's an alright game.
The new Pokemon
Right.
Snap game I'm talking about.
Oh, that one. I didn't really play the new Pokemon Snap.
You didn't.
Yeah, I really need to play that one. If I can if I can find it for a good price, I might play it.
Yeah. So otherwise, not too bad. So I think honestly, tier list wise, it's pretty much done, right?
And, yeah. Hopefully the next tier list we do next week. I don't know what we're doing next week.
It's up to Lucario though.
Yeah, up to Lucario. Let's see what Lucario chooses.
We'll find out. Lucario has a choice to choose. He doesn't have to show up for it in particular. He just has to choose the tier list, and we just do it. Whether we record it or not is beside the point. Otherwise, yep. I will see you next time.
Bye, guys. See you next time.